Hi everyone. With this video, I wanted to introduce you to my website, robertbishara.com. When you go to the website, you're going to have this artistic scholarly portfolio, which hopefully is a helpful way of navigating the kinds of work that I do. So I always say that I'm an artist first, because that's just the foundation of my being. And in the artist statement, I say I'm driven to make art because being an artist is foundational to who I am. I'm committed to transdisciplinarity, hence why I have worked in several media, such as theater, video, and music. It sounds sometimes unbelievable, but believe it or not, when I went to school, Collège de la Sainte Famille, Jesuit in Cairo, I was actually a math major, and I was probably going to study either computer science or economics. When I went to the American University in Cairo, I ended up majoring in economics for a semester and then changing my major to theater with a minor in music. So I studied, um, music theory, music history, all of that. And then after I finished my BA, I pursued a Master of Fine Arts in independent film and digital imaging. So all of this happened before I earned a PhD in psychology or consciousness and society. So my art affirms the feminist adage that the personal is political. I'm inspired by avant-garde and experimental approaches in modern art, particularly surrealism and to some extent minimalism. My artistic work is grounded in and reflects my complex ethnic identity as a secular Egyptian, Copt, with ancient Egyptian roots on my father's side, living in the United States, but also having Polish roots from my mother's side. Given my experience with marginality, both in Egypt and the US, what I do can be considered minor art or art from the minority perspective of a singular artist from North Africa or the Global South. The reason why I say singular artist is because it's a kind of problematizing representation here. So instead of thinking that I represent, Egyptian art, I'm representing myself. I happen to be from Egypt. So in that sense, what I do would be considered part of Egyptian art. But um, I like to think that, the artist is trying to represent um, themselves, which is actually not as easy as it sounds. So this is from an interview for a magazine in Egypt on my work as a theater director and producer. I was 22 at the time. I've acted in numerous plays, including Family Stories, The Flying Doctor, Macbeth, Cloud Nine, The Illusion. I've also directed several projects, such as Jack or the Submission, Mr. Black Testicles, The Lover. That was my BA thesis project, as well as On Air, which is in Arabic. These are stills from my production of Mr. Black Testicles, which, funnily enough, we did a reading of the play recently in Santa Fe. And Ali Nasser, who played Mr. Black Testicles and here Captain Megalomania, reprised the role 17 years later, because the original production premiered in 2007. I'm also a playwright. I have a book out called Egyptian Surrealism. Um, these are some of my other plays that I've written. Infinity, a multimedia experience in seven colors, which was produced in Cairo in 2008. Eva's Dream, we did a reading of it on Zoom, which you can find on my YouTube channel. I'm also a composer, and I have another video which covers my Bandcamp page and a little bit about my music, so I won't go into details, but these are my main albums, Estintea, Horny Cricket, and Chicago Symphony. I have numerous archival albums produced between 2001 and 2018. So again, if you want more details, check out the other video. Lots of singles too. Also a video maker or filmmaker. I was very active in the underground film scene, both in Cairo and Chicago. I've made three feature films, Cryptic Reflections, which stars Esther Yassin, the concert film, which is about the Chicago punk band DA, DA exclamation point. And I've also made a feature film called Alchemy in Hyde Park, which is the first feature film to be shot and produced entirely in the neighborhood of Hyde Park. You can see that I also have a number of shorts: A Dream Within a Dream, Monkey on Back, and Day in the Life, In Limbo, An Octopus in the Sky, and WO. All of these are available either on my Vimeo page or my YouTube channel. There are more shorts from the Egypt period. So this is a triptych of 3 short films I made called Trilogy, and even more shorts: Till Our Eyes and Lips Meet, Binary, Lucky and Savannah, which is on Vimeo, and it's based on Lucky Speech from Waiting for Godot. I've also produced some music videos for other artists and some documentary films. So you can check out the one I made about the solidarity um, uh, action during the Egyptian uprising of 2011. I was in Chicago at the time, and I filmed what was going on in Chicago, folks in solidarity with Egyptian revolutionaries, and I interviewed a bunch of people from the International Socialist Organization, which is now defunct. Made a documentary film about Shisha. Made a made a documentary film based on my monodrama, A Trip, Gibberish Philosophical Quest, and I've made also a film dedicated to my time in Chicago called Chicago. Other than this, I've collaborated with my father on the project called Moondog. I've written a screenplay called Oedipus Kingsley, which we did a reading for, also available on my YouTube channel. I've organized the first vegetarian festival in Cairo, Egypt. Also, I've written poems and I've had them read out, and this is a recording of performance back in Cairo. This is a solo show that I did called Eclectic, and this was in Chicago. It featured my film, my photography, um, as well as a premiere performance by Matt Sass of A Trip, Gibberish Philosophical Quest. I've written a manifesto, which is published in the Compound Yellow Manual, but there's also a video recording of me reading the manifesto in Chicago. So this is kind of a quick overview of myself as an artist. What about myself as a scholar? Well, I always say I'm an artist first and a scholar second. So in a sense, my thinking as a scholar is grounded in my being an artist. As such, while my terminal degrees are in film and psychology, I creatively draw from a variety of fields in my scholarship in a transdisciplinary fashion. So you can see transdisciplinary as an ethic, both in my scholarly work and in my artistic productions. Consequently, I have expertise in psychoanalysis, decoloniality, terrorism studies, Islamophobia studies, discourse analysis, and film and media studies. It really depends on what is the topic that I'm researching and what I'm really passionate about. My research practice is based on a commitment to human scientific approaches, which include radical qualitative research methods, critical theory, and world philosophy and history. Finally, I'm also reflexive about my positionality as a minority scholar from the Global South, who resides in the Global North and is interested not only in critiquing hegemonic ideas that may be violent or oppressive, but also in prefiguring ways to bridge cultural difference in a nonviolent and liberatory manner. So this is kind of the ethic that guides my research. These are my authored books, starting with decolonial psychoanalysis all the way to transmodern cinema and decolonial film theory. These are my edited books on critical psychology, and this is a translation of a work of Egyptian philosophy by Murad Wahba, Fundamentalism and Secularization. I have links to articles, interviews, and lectures. Again, you can find all of this information through robertbishara.com, and you'll find links to my other websites. So I hope this was helpful, and I'll try to make more and more of these videos.